really excited to be here in Nairobi, in Kenya, in the home of running, and to be launching Voices in Motion together with Rolling Stone Africa today. At On, we talk a lot about the spirit of the run, and I think the spirit of the run doesn't become apparent in our offices in Zurich, but it becomes very apparent on the clay paths of the Rift Valley, in the faces of all of the dreamers, the athletes, the champions that are here today, and this is why we're really excited to be launching. Maybe a little bit about On. We are a sportswear brand, so yes, we make cool. We're also more than a sportswear brand. We're inspired by movement, so we're inspired by the athletes that have been a part of the On journey, and a lot of the athletes and the champions that are gathered here today. And we believe in the connection between movement and what happens when you move, and the human spirit, and inspired by that undefeatable human spirit that we see in all of our athletes. We have this unique opportunity to bring movement and storytelling together. So I love the crowd of athletes and storytellers that are gathered here today, because the problem, and I think you spoke about it a little bit already, and we'll hear more from the panel, is really that the success of the Kenyan athletes has often been consumed, or the stories have been told through a narrow lens, maybe sometimes through an international lens. We see the medals, we see the podiums, we see the success, but the stories are not told by the amazing creators that are in Kenya.
I mean, you know, we've been witnessing Africa doing so well, whether it's music, sports, fashion, but this work needs to be amplified. So, you know, as I said earlier, we've founded Rolling Stone Africa in 2024. Like when you found any organization, it takes some time to lay the foundation, and I feel like now we've done a pretty good job at laying those foundations. We've got access that we want to offer to creators, so now is the right time for us to do it. And with On, obviously it's so much easier to do it with their support and their backing. To be able to work with local people that understand the story, that understand the culture, that understand how to best position their artists, but also giving them the training that they need to, you know, meet those international standards. So, you know, they can not only participate in this campaign, but also get some contracts from other brands and other platforms.
The platform honestly should have been launched the day the first Kenyan runner won a medal, I would say. Athletes are heroes, in my opinion. They do incredible work, they have an incredible work ethic, but they're not necessarily storytellers. And so I want to really remove the monolith of Kenyan runners or African runners or African sport, whatever it is. I want it to be said by their name. I want their stories to be told. I want them to have opportunities to have sponsorships, partnerships. I want them to be able to feel that the world appreciates and supports them. So as we work with athletes at On, and as athletes continue to work hard, we want to make sure that they are paired with the best of the best to tell their stories, so that they can be true to their craft, but at the same time, they can have their stories told by the best of local content creators.
And what does the platform mean for the future of African storytelling as a whole?
I think the future of African storytelling is solid. It just needs amplification. And so I think this platform is not to say we are starting something new. It's to say that local content creators are already doing an incredible job. They're reaching global audiences. They're going cross-functional. We're saying local content creators know what they're doing. And now we're just saying, hey, let's power that up so that the local content creators can have opportunities, and do that also in a way that celebrates what's really good in Africa, which is sports, starting with running. Storytelling is about having the voice of the person who actually is going through a process tell the story of how they feel, and capturing it in a way that there's emotion, and people who are not able to be part of that process to understand it and to feel it. So that's what I believe storytelling is about.
So my story is very simple. We tell our stories using our legs, our stopwatches, the intensity of training, the volume of our training, and how we eat, how we recover after eating. So of course we have to hydrate. We try to eat as much as possible like natural food. We avoid the so-called Western food, but we don't want to use the other name. We call it the junk food, but so, well, that is what it is. So we try to live as natural as possible. We run where there is no pollution, so we are friends to plants. Yeah, we also enjoy the pain through training and running hills, but of course we get the relief when we go downhill. Yeah, and of course we mix the showers, hot showers and cold showers. We go to the gym, we do some swimming, we do also bicycle ride. Yeah, so that is our story. Then finally we go to the track. Yeah, and hope we go to the embassy and board the plane and go and run, carry the flag of Kenya. That's our story as a representative of the athletes.
I think it's important to capture these stories because not only do we want to see the success behind African athletes, but also document that journey as to how the athletes got there. Because I do believe that through sharing the story of how athletes emerge on that international circuit, that's how we begin to inspire younger and upcoming generations, and also get to maintain that sort of momentum we have in terms of our international exposure. I think it's the start of many stories to come, and I believe it's through stories, through relatable stories, that we can impact and change other people's lives. I mean, I myself have seen my life change just by hearing and seeing different athletes and how they've come from their own backgrounds, overcome their own challenges, and achieve success on worldwide stages. So I do believe that through sharing stories, we'll create a lot more stories that can also inspire and relate to many more young upcoming athletes, and also individuals in general.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It felt very weird. It's like I'm ignoring them.
No, that was
Voices in motion! That's what's up! That's what's up! All right! There you go! There you go! There